Hello guys, welcome back to my YouTube channel. So guys, today we'll be learning how to create this modern day website using just HTML and CSS. But before we go through this website guys, I want this channel right now to be focused on creating web app like this because I realize there are tons of tutorials out there based on beginners, learning CSS for beginners, learning HTML for beginners. So I decided to make this website a website whereby beginners can learn how to create full website from scratch. So guys, if you check the description, you will get the source code to this website, but only the HTML code, because we won't be writing the HTML from scratch. You can go through the HTML. It is not large. The code is not large. But if you're a subscriber to this channel, you can send me a message on WhatsApp. There's a link on the description for that, or you can send me a message on Facebook. I use those two platforms. So you can send me a message there to get a link to the full source code. If you only this stuff is based for only subscribers, so I give out the full source code to only subscribers. So if you are subscribed to this channel, all you need to do is send me a message on either WhatsApp or Facebook, and you will get the source code immediately. So guys, but with that being said, the HTML code is available to all. You can get it on my GitHub page, and you can also find a link to a WhatsApp group chat where you can chat with other developers and discuss whatever you might be facing, any challenge you might be facing as a beginner in software development. So with that being said guys, let me show you guys how the website look on mobile device. So if you haven't subscribed to this channel guys, please enable to subscribe right now so you won't miss a thing, and turn on the notification. You can see the website look good both on small device. So the only place we use Bootstrap here is only on the navbar. We use Bootstrap on the navbar in order to save us the stress of writing the JavaScript code for it. So let me inspect this website. Oh, you can see it still look responsive. So guys, that is pretty much everything. All you need to do is just to subscribe to this channel right now so you won't miss a thing. And there's still much you can do here. There's still much you can do here. So guys, with that being said, subscribe to this channel because in this channel I'll be creating full web apps like this. Share the channel with friends, turn off the notifications. So I drop tutorials here every Tuesday. So whenever I drop a tutorial here, you'll be the first person to comment, and I'll be able to reply to your comment. So join the WhatsApp group chat, send me a private message on WhatsApp, send me a private message on Facebook, whichever platform you use, send me a message there. So guys, subscribe right now so you won't miss a thing. And once more, thank you for visiting CodeUI tutorial.
Caught in the crossfire. It's caught in the crossfire.
Hello, welcome back guys. So I'm talking about the CSS code for this. So this is what we have right now, just images. And so we still have the navbar here because we use Bootstrap and the API is still in our HTML document. So, and we also have some font family from Google Fonts, so you can actually use any font right here. So guys, and here we have all the images which you will find once you download the folder, and the font which we will be using. So guys, with that being said, let's go ahead and make the hero image, which is the image holding the API shard stuff. So let's go ahead and make the image. So I gave it a class name of hero image. So I believe you all already have the HTML file. So I won't be going through the HTML file here. Okay. So hero image. Let's also add the background image. column the URL function, URL. So the image folder, then research for background. No. Yeah, this is it. Perfect. Okay, so let's add more rules to it. Let's give it a weight of 100% viewport weight. And mind you guys, we already have some style here, which is for this body tag, which is the overflow hidden and margin padding 00 pixel, in order for the website to be responsive. So with that being said, let's add a height to it. Height of 700 pixel, which we're going to change later for it to be responsive on smaller device. 700 pixel. And the background repeat of none, in order for the background not to repeat. No repeats. Okay, so let's add background position to it. Background position button, and the background size of cover in order for it to be responsive. Background size cover, so it's going to cover the full width of the browser. Object fit cover, set it to cover also. Okay, let's see what we have right now. Cool. Our website is looking good already. Okay, so let's go ahead and write more code. Okay, so let's style the nav now. Let's style the nav. So I gave it a class name of nav link, nav hyphen link. Okay, so let's give it a color of white and a font size of 16 pixel. And the margin of 10 pixel. Yeah, so let's see what we have right now. There you can see. Okay, let's change the hover state. I don't like the hover state, so let's change the hover state now. So let's copy this nav link in order to add hover to it. Perfect. Hover. Okay, the spelling is not correct. Perfect. So let's add transition to it. Not here, inside here. Transition, if I can spare. Let transition all. Oh, where is this? Okay. All. Let's give it a duration of 1 second, which is 1s, and an easy is function. Okay, let's see what we have now. Okay, let's first of all change the color on hover. Okay, Okay, let me see what we have now. Let's refresh our browser. Okay, perfect. So you can actually play around with the code. You can change it to maybe something less, like 200 milliseconds or something less. But I prefer leaving it this way. Okay, what do we do now? Let's tell this API chat and start the conversation. So let's do that now. But before we do that, let's quickly add a logo to our website. So I gave it a class name of navbar brand, navbar-brand. So make sure you download the HTML code from my GitHub page so you can follow along with this tutorial. The background image. Called on the URL function. Then go to the image folder and logo 2. Okay, perfect. Let's add more row to it. So background repeat none as usual. In order for the background not to repeat, no repeat. Background position. This time we should use center in order to center it. Object fit, contain, weight. Let's give it a weight of maybe 90 pixels. 90 pixels should be okay. Yeah. Background size contain. Background size contain. Height of 90 pixels. Okay, that's what we have now. Our logo is not showing, so what's wrong? Why is our image not showing? Okay, let me see what I did wrong here. Nav. Oh, it should be navbar brand and not nav. So that's what we have now. Okay, the image is pretty big, so let's change the value. Maybe let's change the height to something lesser. Okay, perfect. So let's leave it this way for now, or maybe let's just add some margin to it. Margin left. No, let's leave it this way. I do have to refresh every time. Okay, perfect. So now let's start the API chat. Okay, so let's go ahead and start it now. So we are following up. I gave it a class name of section 1. Section 1. Here, section 1. So we're using CSS grid here. First of all, let's call the grid function by giving it a display of grid. Here. Then grid template row column to create a column, and we'll add a repeat function in order for it to be responsive. and add auto function to it, auto fit. So it will try as much as possible to fit into device width. And the min max function, which is a little bit advanced if you're a beginner. So let's give it a min of 100 pixel, which is the min max, and they'll say a max of 100 pixel. Okay, perfect. So let's justify all the content to the center. Justify content center. Center. Okay. So let's give it a max width. Max width of 900 and maybe 198 pixels should be okay. Yeah. And the margin of auto, in order for it to always stay at the center, to center it, and the max height of max content. Okay, let's add padding to it. So all around it should be 0, 0, then okay, yeah, let's give it 40 pixel bottom, padding of 40 pixel at the bottom, and padding right of 0 pixel at the left. Okay, that's what we have now. Good. Can see our website is looking good already. Okay, let's add something here first in order to make sure this stuff does not leave the same column on a smaller device. So I give it a class name of section 1btn. Section 1 btns. Let's give it a display of flex, so it will let's start one direction. Flex. Now let's justify it to the center. I don't want you to create a second column if the device is smaller than this, so that's why I'm doing this. If you want it, don't add it to your own code. So it's not actually necessary to do what I'm doing. Center. Okay. Let's refresh again. Okay, perfect. So let's add some margin here and increase the font size for this. Okay. So I'm using all this font is gotten from Bootstrap fonts. And I'm using my own API for it, so probably this font won't show on yours, so you just go to Bootstrap font and create an account and grab the API for it. So it has a class name of FATH. Let me increase the font size to 20 pixels. And add it. It's important to make sure it always shows at the 20 pixel size. Okay, let me refresh my browser. This is bigger now. So let's style this watch intro video. No, the get started, sorry. VTN get started. Can I spell? Okay. Which is this get started button. So the first one is for the icon. So let me refresh. So the icon. So let me add some margin to it. 0 pixel, then 90 pixel at the right, and 0 should be okay. Okay, we got something interesting happening here already. Okay. So let's style this. Let's add more style to the API shots. I think I should duplicate this now. Okay. And leave this here. So let's grab this now. Section 1. Okay, I think it's better for you guys this way. Don't forget to add your class. Okay, then call on this. Or paste it here. Then the h1, which is this h1 for the API shot. So let's just add color to it now. Let's leave it as plain white, and add a font size of 3.5 m. Should be okay. That's what we have now. Okay, it's better now. Okay, so let's style the history, which is start a conversation text. Okay, let me just copy this. So we don't have to copy. To copy is Ctrl C, and to paste is Ctrl V. And change this to history. So leave the font size, the color, the symbol. We're going to change the font size. Should be smaller. Maybe 2.2 m should be okay. Yes, that's what I. Oh, sorry. Yes, that's what I used. Here, that's what I used. So now let's tell the P, which is the paragraph text. And make it smaller also. Leave this. Okay, let me just leave it. but give it a max width of maybe 300 pixels, no, 477 pixels. And let's add padding to it. 0 pixel, 0 pixel, 0 pixel. So this padding of 0 pixel, 0 pixel is equivalent to padding top of 0 pixel, padding left, bottom. So this is more like a short way of writing it. But if you're not used to it, you use your normal padding top, bottom, and okay. So let's see what we have now. Okay, we didn't add the P, still left the edge one. So let's add P here. Okay. Looking back. Okay, yeah, this should be okay. So let's just take out the font size for now. We can put it back later. I think the default font size should be okay. Yeah, let's just leave it this way for now. Okay, let's add our mobile image now. So let's go back to our code editor. Where is it here? Okay, so let's add the image right here, the mobile image. So it has a class name of section mobile image, which is this. So let's just copy it and paste it here. Okay, so let's add the image, background image, and call on the URL function. Then go to our image folder. Then background one, which is this .png. So never forget to add a format. If you fail to add a format or add the wrong format, the image won't be displayed. So make sure you always add the right format and the right directory. So let's refresh our browser. Okay, it won't be showing for now. Let's add more rows to it. First of all, let's make sure it does not repeat. So let's stop it from doing that by adding no repeat. Then background position of center. So all this value, most time I keep repeating it just to make sure the image is responsive. That's when you don't want to use bootstrap image fluid function. What am I doing? Background size, content. Okay, so let's add object fit and set it to contain also, and add a weight of maybe 500 pixels. and the height of 400 pixels. So let's see what we have now. Perfect. Good. As you can see, our website is looking good already. Okay, so before we go ahead, let me change the color of this icon. So that's a class name of video icon, which is says yeah, video icon. Let's copy it and give it a color of white. Okay, and change the cursor to pointer. Okay, let's see it now. Refresh. Okay, looking good already. So guys, don't forget, you have the source code available to you. All you need to do is subscribe and go to the description and chat me on WhatsApp or Facebook for the source code. If you don't want to do that, you can still learn and know how to do it on your own. Okay, so what are we going to do next now? Let's add the 3-column card here. Okay, so let's start the next section, which is this section 2. So let's add a background color to it. Of white, so we can just use this FFF value. Yeah. Then add a max width to it. Max width of 990 pixels. And the height of auto. So let's add a grid display to it also. We can use grid or flexbox. All you need to do is to change the direction. If it's flexbox, you can change the flex direction to column, or by default it should be flex, which is the one direction stuff. So grid template column, auto fit. Now I just can copy it instead of writing it over and over again. Where did I use it? Yeah. Okay. Let's paste it here and change the value. Instead of 400 pixels this time, let's make it 300 pixels. A main of 300 pixels and a max of 300 pixels. Okay, so let's justify content to the center because of small device. The names is very easy to remember and it's all self-explanatory. So justify content, help you just write vertically and align item. Center, help you center it horizontally. Okay, won't be seeing anything for now. Let's add a margin of auto so our browser can help us calculate the margin. So let's add some filter to it. Filter, drop shadow. I believe you know how to use CSS filters. Give it a blur of 2 pixels. Then add a color to it. So CSS filter is equivalent to box shadow, uses the same value. So if you know box shadow, it's still the same thing, but the filter value is more advanced than the old box shadow, and it's much faster than box shadow to render. Let's scroll down. Okay, here's our 3-column grid. Okay. So let's add the CSS position here in order to move it up. So we'll be using absolute position. But for that to work, I missed something. I'm supposed to add a relative position to the parent element in order for it not to leave the viewport width. So let me call on this content class. By default, absolute position does not always work the way you expect it to work, but by adding a relative position, you stop it from acting that way. So call on the position and set it to relative. Okay, so now we can add absolute position here and it will add properly. So I will show you an example when I'm done writing the code. So let's give it a top of maybe negative 200 pixels. Am I right? Let's see what we have first. Or let's 240 pixels should be okay. 240 pixels. And left should be 0. Right should be 0. And let's add a border radius to it. Okay, let me not add a border radius now and see the results. Something is wrong actually. So what did I do wrong here? Okay, I said negative 240 pixels for it to move up. Okay, let's refresh our browser. Perfect. Okay, so for it to let's add a border radius to it so we can have some curved corner here. So let's add border radius now. 20 pixels. I hate this auto completion. If you're not careful, you can mess up your code. Okay, nice. So now let's add images to it. Some images. Okay. I gave it a class name of section card 1, image 1. So all have this class name of imgx, which is not the best way to name it. Let me first of all start here. So section 2, section 2 imgx. Let me just change it. So okay, you can change it on your own. imgx. You can name it any way you want, but try and be as descriptive as possible. So let me give all image a margin of 20 pixel top and 10 pixel right, 10 pixel. Okay, good. Before we do that, let's add all the images first. Don't know why I don't do that first. So they all have a different class name. So let me go through this HTML code. So you can see they all have different class name. So image 1, -1, which is this, the first image here. So let's add an image to it. Background image, then URL. Okay, let's go to the folder, then call on the name of the image, which is layout.png, and add a width to it. Pixel, and the height of 100 pixel, 100 pixel. Background repeat of none, to make sure it doesn't repeat. Okay, that's what we have. Nice. Okay, so let's just copy and paste everything. Three times. 2, 3. All we need to do now is to change the images. So the second one, the name is security. .png, and the last one is chat.png. Okay, let's also change this image to HREA3. Okay, perfect. So let's style this H1 because it's looking very big. Let's go back to our Visual Studio Code. So let's copy this. Ctrl C. Page 1. Imagine life without Visual Studio Code. Okay, let's give it a color. Is our RGBA value here? 26, 33, 3, okay, 0 point, maybe just make it a little bit light, 795, so it won't be that dark. More like adding a light gray, a light black. Okay, and let's also add a margin of 10 pixels, which means 10 pixel top, bottom, right. So all corner must have a 10 pixel of margin to be distributed equally among all corner. Okay, why is it looking so big? Okay, let's go ahead for now. So section 2, then the paragraph text, which is this text here. Okay, so let's style it. So the first thing we're going to add is to add a font size to it. .0, and it should be okay. Okay, and the color, so let's just add black, then reduce it. Okay, cool. Okay, Then let's add a line height to it. Line height. Maybe 1.50 rem should be okay. If you don't have to use all these values, you can check it on YouTube. It's very easy to understand. Okay. Let's add a margin to it. Ten pixel top, 10 pixel left, 30 pixel bottom, also 10 pixel left. So top, left, bottom, left, sorry, top, right, bottom, left. Yeah. Okay. So you can play around with the values. You can decide to make the H1 bigger or smaller. Then this horizontal line will style it later. So our website is looking good already. Okay. So I think this H1 text is pretty small. So let's increase it. Then once we do that, we'll go ahead and style these images here. So let's first of all increase this to maybe 1.5 m. Okay, and it's better to use m units instead of pixel. 1.5 m. Okay, let's refresh. Okay, it's better this way. Okay, let's go to the next section right now, which is this section 3. And let's go to section 4. Take it also, so we can style all at once. Then section 5, which is the last section. Okay, first of all, let's give them a max weight. So I have all this unit written down already, so I won't miss it. And let's use flex this time around instead of grid. I've used grid a lot. Let's give it a margin top. 900 pixels because of the absolute position which we use making the section 2 leave with normal flow, and also justify content center and align item to the center. Give it a margin of auto. Okay. Good. So that is the power of Flexbox. You can see everything is centered already, and it will always make sure always make sure it stays at this particular column, unless you change the direction to flex direction to column. Then when the column becomes smaller, it can go to the next row. If not, if you don't do that, it will keep squeezing and make sure it fits into one column. Okay, so let's add more style to this. Let's style the image first. Okay, so we have all this value, section 3, image. Let's copy it. Okay, so let's change it now. Change this to section 4. FOUR, and change this to section 5. Okay, so let's give it a width, which is the image. Let's give the image a width of 400 pixels and the height of 500 pixels, and the background repeat, no repeats. Background position, to center. Background size to contain. And also add a margin right. Pixel of margin should be okay. So let's also add object fit to it to make sure it always fits and make it contain to it. Okay, so that's what we have now. Amazing. It's looking good already. You can see. Okay, so let's style all the H1 and the text and style this also. So let's go ahead and do that right now. So we have section text, section 3 text, okay. Okay, perfect. So let's style all the H1 in it. H1, H1, and sorry, H1. Anything wrong here? Section 3, section 3. Okay, let's change this to section 4. And this to section 5, which is the last card. Okay, let's give it a font size of maybe 2M. I want it to be big, 2/10 of the normal size, 2M, and the margin left of 40 pixels. Okay, so now let's style the paragraph. Let's just copy this. And change this to P. And also change this to P. So I would like to give it a max width first. Max width. Hundred and 74 pixels. Okay, and the font size 1 point something. Let's give it 4M. So you can play around with the value, change it and make it look different on your device. So margin left, let's first make it 40 pixels, so it should be the same with the H1. Okay, so let's see what we have now, but before that let's first style this button. Okay, we are looking good already. So I'll leave the default black color. You can change it if you want, just my opinion. So let's change this. So if you notice, the buttons were already styled. I use bootstrap button, and once you get my HTML code, all these default rules should be there. So I use bootstrap button over there. Okay, so let's style the button now. Then when we are done, we can write media query for everything. section 5, which is the last section, -5, then call on the Android btn, hope I can spell. Okay, maybe just give it a padding, nothing much to do here. 20 pixel. That's what I have now. Okay, it is equal right now. Perfect. Then let's tell this. Okay, let me just add it a margin. Section 5. Okay, and call on the buttons and give them a margin so they won't come together of 10 pixels. Yeah, so on a smaller device, when this particular button goes to the bottom, so to be able to have some space from the first button, so that's why I added the 10 pixel margin. Okay, so what do we do next now? Let's go ahead and style this footer. Let's style the footer. So guys, before we start styling this footer, I guess we should just style this horizontal line. I don't like how it looks, so let's just quickly do that right now, then we can continue with our tutorial. Okay, this is section 2, so I'll be going to section 2 right now. Section 2. Okay, then we'll call the horizontal line, that's the H arrow, horizontal line on our document. That's why I'm calling it directly. Border color, okay, let's add a pound sign and 0688 for the light blue, DC for DC Comics. Okay, so let's add a border star to it. Border star to solid, and this is border width to 3 pixels. And the width of maybe maybe 70 pixels, and the margin left 10 pixels. Then let's give it a block display. 50 pixels, so it will have it to be more like it to have a circle edges. Okay, perfect. Okay, so it's looking good already. Okay, so I think that is it. So I'll actually share the original source code and not this particular source code in case if I ever made a mistake here. I hope I've not done any mistake here. Okay, let's style the footer right now. Okay, now let's style our footer. Router, which is this. Okay, let's call on the footer and add our background image. Call on the URL function. So we'll go to our folder, our image folder, then the footer image. So I would like to give it a full weight, which is giving it a 100% viewport weight. So it should make sure it covers the viewport weight. Okay. And the height of maybe 700 pixels. Background repeats should be changed to no repeats. Background position should be center. Okay, instead of center, let's just make it top. Change it to the top so it will be shown from the top instead of the center. And the background size of cover let's add an overflow heading to make sure it does not overflow. Okay, so let's see what we have now. Okay, perfect. So now let's work on this footer text. So the first text here is this page one, easy to set up your account. So let's style it right now. So call on the footer again, footer, and call on the page one. And give it a position of relative. Then set it up. Should be 370 pixels. And the color of white. You can reduce the contrast if the contrast is too bright. And let's add a padding left, which we are going to change on mobile device to 60 pixels. So for now, let's write all the code and we are done. We'll work on making the website responsive on smaller device. Okay, let's okay, and that should be it. Okay, cool, we have it here already. So now let's work on the paragraph. Okay, let's start the paragraph. Footer. So we're adding the same style, almost everything will be the same. So let's just copy it. So let's add a font size to it. Position relative. So let's increase it so it will go beneath the H1. Okay, let's leave the color the same, but let's give it a max width. Okay, let's see what we have now. Okay, perfect. So a little task for you guys, you can change this arrow, you can change the arrow color. When you go to the source code, you'll see it. So I'll leave it this way. You can go and do that yourself. It's very easy to do. If you have been following along all this while, you should know how to do it. Okay, so guys, as you can see, the website is already responsive. So I went ahead and write the media query for it, which I will show you guys what I did and how I did it. So with that being said, guys, let's go back to our source code. All right, here the first thing we did was, okay, let's go here, the navbar. So here's a little bit self-explanatory. Added 0 pixel margin and padding of 0 pixel and a width of 20 pixel in order to make it smaller on a small device, to make the navbar brand, the brand which is the logo, smaller, so it will actually overwrite the first code on a smaller device. That's why I gave it a max width of 819 pixels. Okay, while the mobile image, which is the big image, the hero image, I add a display none to it. On a mobile device, you can see the image is no longer here, so on a mobile device it won't be there. Then the hero image, I added more height to it, which is 120%, in order for it to cover everything, in order for it to cover all the text and everything inside it. Okay, then section text 20 pixel, which is this whole text. Okay, the max width of 995 viewport width and the margin of auto You can see 95% viewport rate, so it will be shared equally among each corner. Okay, and the margin of auto for it to be centered. So this section 2, if you notice, I added a mean width of 910 pixels in order for it to take an absolute position. So what I did was, let's go back to section 2, which is here. If you notice, I take out the absolute position here. So by default, it won't have any position at all, and as long as there's no position of absolute, the top left right attribute won't work till when we get to a mean width of, so when we get to section 2, to when we get a mean width of 910 pixels, that's when it should take effect. So you can see everything is very easy and self-explanatory. So the same, you can see we added height to rate and a max width of 100% viewport width and a max width of 810 pixels. You should take the full viewport width. Then here, okay, let me take out this code here. Let me take out the code, so you see why I added that code. Let's refresh our browser. Okay, let's move down. As you can see, after this text come the image, then the image after. Okay, let me roll this so you understand what I'm saying. So you see, after this image come this text, then on a smaller device this text should go beneath, and because of that we end up having two texts at the same time. So because of that, what I did was I added this order, this flexbox order property, which allows me to change each section 4 and section 4 image. So I swap it using this flexbox order property. So if you don't know how to use flexbox order property, you can search for it on YouTube. It's actually possible to swap things that way. So that was what I did. So let's see it back now. You can see it's back to normal. Okay. So right here we have our section 3, which is this section 3, 4 and 5. So I added this flex wrap to wrap, so it won't just be an ordinary flex direction, which is one column. So I added this flex wrap so it can wrap, which is this, you can see. Sorry, which is this. Okay, so the only thing added here is this flex wrap. So if you take out the wrap, it will be like it won't be responsive anymore. So we'll get to the footer, remove the background image and replace it with a linear gradient on a max width of 924 pixels. Then the edge one, make it smaller, the font size smaller, and this should be 17 pixels. 17 pixels. Okay, you can see. Okay, actually repeated this code. Okay, let me take this one now. Okay, you can see it's quite self-explanatory. You can go through the code and make sure you understand what I do here. So with that being said, guys, I'll be doing more of this type of tutorial. So if you're interested in something like this, enable to subscribe right now. So thanks for watching, and make sure you subscribe right now. And by this time next week, we'll be having a new website design right here on this channel. So subscribe now if you want to view it, and turn on the notifications so you'll be notified whenever I put up a new video on the channel. So thanks for watching, guys.